Howdy ho everyone! I haven't uploaded a video like this in a while, and if you watched my The Future of This Channel video, you'd know why. To put it short, I've had some nasty issues with motivation lately, especially with my voice and doing scripted voiceovers like these. To make up for this absence, however, I'll be doing a 2-in-1 of the designs I've done recently. Robo Fizz, which you're seeing now, and Mammon. I typically did an older design of Mammon before this one, but I didn't think it was worthy of much praise, let alone to make a video of it. Anywho, enough dilly-dallying, let's just jump right in. For Robo Fizz, I didn't really change too much about his design. Most of the changes I made were to line up with his lore more. But one of the biggest changes I made is rather obvious, the fact that he has no skin aside from that on half of his face. This is because of the stuff that happened with the fire, and the fact that he got eaten by a dragon. The Lululand's happenings were canon for it. The remaining ragged skin was torn off by him, largely because it only impeded the bot's movement. Another big thing that I'm sure y'all can notice is the addition of a plate on his chest. This is similar to a makeshift patching of an injury that was inflicted upon him. It was important for it to do so, mostly because the Fizz bots have organs. Yep, you heard that right. It's a whole delve into the lore that I'm not going to get into right this second, but TLDR, the Fizz bots made androids by a sick lab experiment where they used Fizzaroli's DNA to reverse construct the organs necessary. The design's not done yet, so I can't show it off, but Fizzaroli has an autopsy-esque scar across his torso because of this. And that's the end of the Robo Fizz design. If you can't read the asterisks, it says, being a robot, Robo Fizz doesn't age. The age listed is instead based on when he was made. He is an adult. It's just to avoid any comments about him being 8 years old. Now, on to Mammon. I changed quite a bit about Mammon's design. One of the biggest, most notable changes is likely his entire body plan. I made him bulkier, much larger, and made him a centipede centaur, if anyone doesn't know. I mostly did this because I disliked how much his demon form and his regular form didn't match up. It really rubbed me the wrong way. In his demon form as of the AU, he just gets sharp hat things and gets significantly larger, probably about 100 feet or more actually. He also does have his extra eyes sometimes, and they only appear when he becomes agitated in some way. I also toned down a lot of the circus performer aspects of his design, like all of the stripes and such. He still has his distinctive hat, and the main lore reason behind he has it and not the rest of his attire is that it was just got torn away from him by the sinner's Skeksis style. If you get that reference, you're a real one. As he was escaping his bunker. He replaced it with a pinstripe suit, similar to the one that Beetlejuice had in the movie of the same name. I did inspire a lot of aspects of his design off of Beetlejuice, actually. He's also leucistic now, giving him very light and desaturated colors, and I gave him a unibrow to just add to the vibe I'm going for. He's also got a snaggletooth now, and that's just a birth defect. Something else that may have caught your eye is that he's missing one of his arms. This was actually inflicted by Asmodeus during one of their biggest conflicts. Mammon and Asmodeus were always butting heads more than any of the other sins, mostly due to Mammon's stance on those around him. He was always a hypocritical narcissist, only caring for his own gain even if it caused unbelievable harm to those around him. Mammon and Satan did have a few conflicts over the millennia, but none resulted in serious and permanent injury on either side. If Mammon weren't imp, or even just a mortal, he'd be long dead, and if not, riddled head to toe in scars. As I mentioned earlier in the video, this is actually a redesign of Mammon. I wasn't satisfied with how I made him look then, as I really didn't change too much with his design. I just removed the 2 extra arms and turned them into legs, adjusted his color palette, and along with a new outfit. It didn't fit the vibe I was going for, nor his personality. The biggest things I kept from his older design were his unibrow and snaggletooth, and pretty much everything else was changed and adjusted. And here we are at the end with both designs finished. I did sort of do this to celebrate my 100th subscriber, which is why there's so much stuff in this one video. If you have any thoughts on the designs, general comments about this AU as a whole, or anything to add, please let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this, please consider liking the video or even subscribing. It helps me out a lot. Anywho, thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a fantabulous day.